There were several treatments I had tried prior to the transplant. We actually had got into a clinical trial for one of the first interferon treatments. I think it was one of the interferons where it was 3 million units 3 times a week injected and with ribavirin. And I had gotten some pretty bad side effects to that. I think my platelets dropped to 0, so I lost all my platelets as a result of that treatment. So that didn't work. They stopped that after a number of weeks to that treatment. The next came along was the pegylated interferon, which was a once-a-week injection, also with ribavirin. I was on that treatment for, I guess, about 8 to 10 weeks. And that, again, I got very anemic. My blood counts went down very low. So prior to the transplant, I had those 2 treatments, and they were not effective in clearing the virus. So that was 2 courses of interferon that were unsuccessful. After the transplant, about a year later, the doctors decided that they wanted to try another bout of interferon to see if they could knock the virus out. Since it was a new liver, it hadn't been to the same level of damage as the old liver, so therefore I had a chance that it might be able to be eliminated with another bout of interferon. So I was put on pegylated interferon again with ribavirin, high dose. And this time it seemed to be having an effect. It was starting to lower the virus loads. However, I was getting very anemic as well, so my blood counts were going down, my platelets were going down. I was getting very weak, and the side effects were horrible. I couldn't think straight. I couldn't get out of bed most of the time. I lost about close to 40 or 50 pounds. I went from a high of 250 pounds when I was swollen with all the fluids from the liver failure down to close to 155 pounds where I'd gone down to that much weight loss due to the interferon treatment. Unfortunately, the doctors never lowered the dose of the ribavirin, so I became progressively more anemic as time went on and actually ended up in the hospital again, at a different hospital. And they said if I had, this level of anemia, if I had this level of fatigue, and if I had something, kidney function was going down, they said if I had any one of those, I'd be in the hospital. And he said, you have all 3. You're not going home. And I said, I know. I have my bag packed. So I had my bag with me to stay over and be at that hospital. They gave me 12 units of blood to get my hemoglobin back up to where it needed to be. They also were on Procrit. I was also on Epogen, other treatments. So, just to come back from the anemia that was caused by the interferon treatment was significant. I felt like I was going to die at that time as well. But, and this was post-transplant, which is now, I think, even contraindicated to use interferon for those patients.